You're in the Business Insurance Zone with me, Steve Savant, national financial columnist and money color commentator. This week on The Biz, employee stock ownership plans. And on today's show, our very special guest, Kereti Tuioti, nationally recognized ESOP expert, all here on The Biz.
When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Well, welcome everyone to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm your host, Steve Savant, and we're broadcasting live to a nationwide audience of financial advisors right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona, home of America's largest fountain. And by the way, right now we're clocking at about 165,000 page views a month on our show and social media support. Unbelievable. We're not even on our 2-year anniversary yet out on the air, and it's been unbelievable, so much so that we now have a program for retail called One for the Money, and you can pick that up on our weekend on all our distribution sites. With us today, day 3. Kereti, I got to say, I am learning about ESOPs.
Thank
you are
Steve.
walking me through a whole, I knew this about 10 years ago, and I kind of forgot about it. And it is forgotten as a tactic, as a marketing plan.
Yeah.
If you're coming into our show right now on a Wednesday, please stop the video, go back and watch Monday and Tuesday's show, because I don't want to lose you on today's show, because we've already talked about things and we're going to walk through some of the mechanics today. So I really want you to really think about it, because we have a chronology to this, and when we do a week series and you come in on Wednesday, you're going to be kind of lost. So if you watch Monday and Tuesday's show first, then come in and watch Wednesday, this is day 3, it'll really help. And Kereti's been walking us through this. I mean, it has some complication to it, but really there's a roadmap to this, and that's part of one of our giveaways. And I think that if you watch this, all 5 videos, you're going to be sitting there saying, this might be what I've been looking for as a building. I want to build out my practice.
Yeah.
I want to expand my business. I've been looking for something that's a niche market. And by the way, how niche is this? How many people are in this?
Very niche, very niche. Not too many people.
And I'm in shock, because the key word here is huge tax advantages and leverage and economies of scale and discounted dollars, all these things we've said, but the tactic itself has a lot of this. And to me, especially after the fiscal cliff, man, this is huge for upper middle class and affluent clients that are really going to need some tax relief, and this is an area to play.
And not just that, Steve. I mean, very, very good point. Not just that, many owners are now reaching that point where they are looking into retiring. They have all these years, they built this company. They started out with maybe 2 employees. Now they're at 20 employees. And they're looking at some strategies to exit out of their company. What is the best tax advantage way to exit out of their company? And that's, an ESOP could be a possibility. As I mentioned to you, it's another arrow to an advisor's quiver. We all have many arrows. But if you have this concept, in your quiver, I think you can better position yourself to help your clients and also help yourself.
Well, when you think about it, ESOPs are a very distinctive issue to lead into a business with. If I'm trying to get into a business person, I'm trying to get in front of a gatekeeper, I'm talking about something that nobody else is talking about.
That's
and
right.
if we don't place an ESOP, we're still going to be able to default to maybe retirement income, estate planning, or succession planning. But I love this because it is a distinctive entry level where nobody is talking this. And again, I don't want you to feel and disqualify yourself if you say, oh, Steve, it's too complicated.
No, never.
Kereti will walk you through this. Your first couple cases, you're going to need them. I'm not going to say you're not. You're going to need them. But I want you to use them, because just like we did with Ken Davis with Section 79, you are going to benefit from it and you're going to learn from it. So you need the experts to go with you and mentor with you into this process till you get it. But I love it because it's practice distinctive. And that's what we like about it. We're always trying to find a mantra, a little niche for ourselves. This could be yours. Maybe not, but it could be yours. Let's talk about, now we talked about this yesterday, C and S. Let's do C first. Okay. I have $1 million. Walk me through my $1 million problem so I can leverage it.
So the company is valued at $1 million as an example.
And the only reason we're going low is just to keep the math in our head.
That's right. Okay. So with a C, I operate a C corporation. So Steve, you're coming to me and say, okay, let's do a C. Let's look at a C ESOP. So the process is that we want to borrow the money to buy out the owners.
And we're borrowing it from who?
We're borrowing from a lender, a third-party lender. Okay. So it's a loan to loan. So the lender loans the cash to the company, and then of course the company has the financials to qualify for the loan. So again, as we mentioned earlier in one of our interviews, that this is the only qualified plan allowed under the law to borrow money from a third-party lender to purchase the stock of the selling shareholder or the selling owner. So with our $1 million, so let's say that the owner decides, I'm going to sell 30%. So the company borrows $300,000, loans it to the ESOP trust, and then the ESOP trust purchases the 30% stock or for $300,000. We now, the trust now owns 30% of the selling owner's stock for the benefit of the employees, okay? In the meantime, the owner can defer the capital gain on the $300,000 if the owner purchases securities in American companies within the 12-month period after the sale of
You've
his
said this
or
a couple
her-
times this week now.
Yeah.
Domestic only then.
Domestic only stocks, yes. Again, the American government wants to encourage us to invest in American owned companies.
And I like that.
So
I'm
that's the
there on
key.
that.
So
I'm there on
it's a true American,
I feel
strategy.
like red, white, and blue right now. I feel like waving the flag.
So that's the key there. It's got to be invested in American-owned companies, a portfolio of stocks. So here, the owner is interested in diversifying the risk, reducing the risk. So the owner takes the $300,000, reinvests it in domestic stocks, and avoids or defers the payment of the capital gain tax.
And then how does the company get paid back?
The company gets paid back by the employees, the profits, so the company retires the note. So going forward, as the company maintains its profitability, it makes a contribution to the ESOP trust, and the ESOP trust makes the payment back to the company. That's the loan back
And
back
the
to the company.
employees own-
And the employees own the company.
And how much do the employees shell out?
Nothing.
Nothing. To me, this is a huge way to bless people who've been working for you a long time. Listen, after the break, we're going to continue our discussions on how to do current ESOP planning and how to integrate it into your practice. And don't forget to enroll in IULUniversity.com for the best training, education, and sales support when it comes to life insurance for retirement income.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Did you know the average 401k runs out of money just 7 to 8 years into retirement? Time Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, and many other publications have warned of the difficulty of saving with a 401k. But what if there was a way to create tax-free lifetime retirement income with no stock market risk? Good news, there is.
Living in fear of the next market dive is not the way I want to live my life.
Why would I go out there and take on risk when I don't need to?
I have a lot less stress knowing I can't lose any more of my retirement savings in the stock market.
Call now to receive your free, no-obligation analysis of what this retirement vehicle could do for you, a comparison to your current retirement plan, and a free video that explains this exciting opportunity. Start planning a retirement you can enjoy instead of worrying about future tax increases and stock market losses. Creating income that will last your entire life is the most important thing you'll ever do. Take control of your future. Call now for your free analysis, comparison, and video.
Well, welcome back to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm Steve Savant. And remember, you can order today's giveaway at thebiz.tv. And what are we giving away? Our mini manual on ESOPs. It's really a nice LED entry level. You'll really appreciate it. Just go ahead and order it. And remember, before moving forward with anything that we talk about on this show, especially on taxes, always consult your tax advisor before moving forward. And if you're FINRA licensed, your broker-dealer compliance officer. We're continuing our discussions on ESOPs. Now, we talked in the first half on C Corps. Now let's talk about S. Let's walk through the same $1 million case, but I'm an S Corp now.
It's a little different.
Little different, yeah.
And there are a lot more S's today than there are C's.
Yeah,
In my experience, you come across a lot of, it could be a construction company, it could be an engineering company. I'm finding a lot more S's than there are C's, so it's very easy planning. The difference is that we don't get the benefit of the tax-free rollout when the owner sells his or her stock to the ESOP trust. So we don't get that tax deferred on that. But what we have is an opportunity for the company to transform itself into becoming a tax-exempt trust. So literally, the company can go forward and operate as a tax-free entity into perpetuity, really. So the process is that, going back to the $1 million, I can sell my entire, the owner can sell my entire $1 million worth of stock to the trust in exchange for a note. So it's similar to the estate planning of selling it to a trust, right, where we get back a note. Again, all the valuation. So the process, I sell my $1 million to the company. I get back a note with interest over time. So there's a term, maybe 10 years. My plan is to retire in 10 years. So I'm going to sell my trust, my $1 million stock to the trust.
Did I pay any taxes as the employer?
I will
yet?
pay taxes on that.
Every year or at the end of the 10th year?
No, every year I receive a payment because it's going to be a 10-year term. So every year I'll get a payment from the company. But it's going to be treated as capital gain. So I pay a lower rate than my ordinary. Now, here's the key. Although I'm receiving the payment at a capital gain rate, I still maintain control of the company. That's the key to most owners, is that whether they sell it in the C Corp or an S Corp, as long as there's debt involved, the owner will continue to maintain control. And that's a critical point for them, is that they want to maintain control of the company until their note is retired. So I have this $1 million note. The company is going to pay off my note over a period of time. I'll pay the capital gain on that, and then I can reinvest it in whatever I want to. I can buy real estate, I can buy annuities, or whatever calls for my retirement. But I'm divesting my $1 million into those what you call those baskets, the various baskets, 20 baskets that you mentioned, and I can choose with my financial advisor, with my agent, to reinvest that. But the key is that the company going forward is now tax-free.
Now, why does that happen? Why does this recharacterization using an ESOP create tax exemption?
You know, this is the only, and this is what I like about this planning, is one of those plans that gets support from both aisles of Congress. You know, the Democrats love the fact that the employees can benefit from it.
I totally see that.
They
That's
become
huge.
owners
Huge.
going forward. The other side of the aisle gets benefit because the owner's interest is protected. The owner gets the full value for what he or she had developed over the years, you know, starting from nothing to it's worth something that's worth $1 million. So the law allows for them to benefit both ways.
Okay, now I'm the employee. I own now. For 10 years, my employer's out. We own it. We love this. How much did it cost the employees?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's
All right,
all
fair enough.
contributions.
Going forward now, I made a profit. Is my profits exempt because of this?
That's a very good question. The valuation going forward, every year there'll be contribution made to the trust on behalf of the employees. The employees, it's different from the 401k plan where you have cash inside your 401k, where if you quit or you retire or something happens to you, you get the distribution into an IRA. Here, there's still a schedule, but you won't get the benefit, and I don't want to go to the details of it, but the employees get to participate in the value of the company going forward. So for example, today it's sold for $1 million. With my efforts, I stayed with the company for a very long period of time. Maybe when I retire, the company will be worth $5 million. So whatever my share of the company would be based on the contributions of the company into the trust every year, that's what I will get when I retire from the company. And then that's my retirement that will be distributed out to me, and I'll roll that into an IRA.
So I'm participating, and I am, as an S Corp now, going forward now. This is where I'm a little sketchy on the exemption, the tax exemption of the company. So just make sure I'm clear on that.
Because the company, the law, because now the trust itself, every qualified plan is a tax exempt trust. The company essentially has become a 100% tax qualified plan. So going forward, it pays no taxes.
Because of the recharacterization of that, that's why it's going forward just like any other
That's
qualified.
right.
Okay,
That's
all right,
right.
got it.
We have just shifted from owner-owned to tax-exempt owned.
Well, and I think I'm trying to always measure out, when I hear this, is it's like it's such a great idea. It has such political bipartisanism. I mean, one of the few things we
I
can talk
like
about
it.
the tax code that everybody's okay with. And of all the places they've been looking to get new tax revenues, they're leaving this alone right now. So I just find that kind of inspiring, and this is something that, again, that we're talking about that can build out your practice, that can really do things for you that are going to be huge I think, to get your name out there in a distinctive way to enter into the business market, the estate market, the retirement market. There's so many plays here, and I like the hub of an ESOP. And you know what? If we get enough traffic on this, I'm going to have Kereti come back here. We'll do a complete workshop that'll tie into this show, and we'll walk you through the entire mechanics, because I really want you to visually see it. We can go beyond what we're doing on the show. And remember, you can watch this show and all our shows this week by clicking the red on-demand video button right on our homepage at brokersalliance.com. Well, that's the Buzz on the Biz for today. Get in the zone, the business insurance zone.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.